Good to be back. Hello out there, Batty Lashes here. I'm back. It's been a while. Sorry. And today we're gonna do an Artful unboxing. It's been about 2 centuries since the last one, and I'm super excited to get back into it. So without further ado, here we go. They have changed the outer packaging. They still have the strap. Let's see if it's a little more satisfying than all my other attempts. Come on. It's a good rip. Off to a good start. Come on. There we go. Usual orange insides. I have missed these. Oh, nice! They gave us a color chart. Cool. This box is gouache paints, which is a cool medium that I have tried but never really been successful at. So let's see what they've supplied us with to get started. Oh, there's no inner box. It's just the outer box and the stuff is in it. Okay, well that's cool. I do kind of miss the designed inner boxes though. I saved all of them because they're so pretty. And I do keep stuff in them. I don't just have empty boxes lying around. Anyway, in this orange heavy-duty paper case, we have paints. Yeah. So we have a full range of 10.
Hi there. This is editing Betty here to let you know that I'm not an idiot. I can count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tubes of paint in this box and not 10. So back to your regular programming, I guess.
Gouache paint tubes, and they're pretty big. I was not expecting tubes this big. These are a full 25 milliliter, 0.84 ounce if you're of that persuasion. Who understands ounces? I don't. Anyway, this is 0.84 of them. I mean, it's pretty big. It's like the length of my hand. And I think most tubes of the color that I have seen are like teeny tiny compared to these. So that's nice. That's super generous. I think I've said in all of these videos, and probably will continue to do so, you do get a lot for your money with the Artful boxes. There's also a pencil, an F pencil, which is a nice medium. I believe it's in between HB and B, or if it's the other way around, if it's between HB and F, or HB and H. It's a good sketching pencil. It's not soft and it's not hard. And as always, you receive a pad of paper, which is suitable for the medium that you are going to be receiving. So this is fairly thick textured paper. It's a 300-gram paper, which is what I like to work with for most wet mediums. And oh, I think we've got these in every box as well. It's a set of blank greeting cards with envelopes. Perfect for the holiday season. And we have, oh, I'm going to guess that there might be brushes in here. It's a little canvas kind of cloth bag with a drawstring. Gotta love a cloth bag with a drawstring. And we have four brushes. We've got a, whoa, teeny tiny. This is a 5-0 brush. That's like, I can't, that's not even gonna, that's so small. That's a detail brush. And then we have a, I forget the name of this. It's a chisel tip brush, flat brush in size 3. Good for both making wide strokes and details if you turn it the other way. And then we have a larger detail brush, a round brush in size 3. One of my favorite sizes, like 5 to 0 is like my favorite size range. And then we have the long daddy. Look at this one. The brush is like that long. That's huge. So it's a size 1, but it's obviously a lot longer than your regular kind of brush. And these will be good for making long flowy strokes, like outlines, or not so much for maybe filling in large areas, but for doing sort of outlines and long strokes. Really good brush. Definitely not one I have from Artful before. I have quite a few. They're very generous with sending brushes in their boxes, which I love. So it'll be fun to try that out. And as always, we get the magazine. So let's learn about gouache paint and other stuff. So gouache as a medium is a very opaque, usually bright colored medium. So it's not like watercolor where you can work in layers upon layers, and you play with the opacity, and it works more. What was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, these are opaque and matte colors, so you can work kind of saturated in your colors, and it's a different experience to watercolors, which is what I'm used to. So this will be fun to try out with some guidance. Maybe we'll actually be able to make something nice happen. So I will take a look through the guide, and I will soon return and actually paint something. So see you later.
To start with, I just wanted to get all of the shades onto this wonderful color chart that they provided us with. So after writing all of the names of the shades and the numbers, in case I get more, I put just a little glob in each square and brushed that out so we can see all of the shades in their full glory. This green one had separated a little bit, so I got some clear liquid at first, but I just wiped that off and the paint was fine after that. And a couple of the tubes had a bit of it, but it's fine. I think that's pretty normal for most tube paints. So as you can see, as I brush out the paint, they are really pigmented and bright and vibrant, and they look really cool. And they dried down to a very matte shade. They're kind of making my camera freak out, but they are really super bright. I love that there was a lavender included. That is my favorite color, and this raspberry jam shade is so bright. It's like a super intense magenta color. It's definitely not showing up on camera like it is in real life. The pumpkin is also a little bit more vibrant in real life than it looks like on camera, and those two browns are really nice. That chocolate brown is delicious looking, and I'm gonna have fun using those in later projects. I decided to mush the green around a bit with some water since I painted it so thick, but that turned out to be a mistake. It turned out kind of streaky and weird, and that's a little bit foreshadowing of what's going to happen later on in this video. But these are all the colors anyway. I love them. This is so exciting. Here is my sketch for today's little painting, some dandelions. And I'm going to start by using the tips that are provided in the book. So this one artist here, Alice Oliver, I really loved her style, this very vibrant and sort of childlike and whimsical, gorgeous art style. And her tip was to create a palette before you start painting. Her method is to take two tones that you want to be using, and then you sort of mix them together gradually to create this sort of palette. Here she has orange on one end and blue on the other, and then she gradually mixes them together into all these different shades that she's going to use in her painting. So I'm going with yellow and blue, yellow for the dandelions of course, and blue for the clear blue sky, and as it happens that will give me some green as I mix them together, and that'll be great for the leaves. So let's get to palette making. I decided to add a little bit of the ultramarine to the Kingfisher blue because it was a little bit too light for me. I wanted sort of a more of a periwinkle muted shade than this really, really light pastel blue. So with that adjustment, I went on and made some green and strange shades that I would be using for my painting. Okay, I know this palette isn't quite as pretty as Alice Oliver's gorgeous palette in the book, but I figure I'll play with the shades as I go, and at least this gives me some sort of idea of what kind of tones I'll have to work with as I mix these two colors together. So that's fine. Another artist that really inspired me in the book was Gina Maldonado. I really liked her use of color and the way she had these really solid, bright, or pastel backgrounds and then painted over them with her flowers. That was kind of my inspiration for how I was going to do this piece. I want to have the dandelions on a solid blue background and with the yellow kind of standing out there in between. So here I am sketching out my line work. Don't really need to spend too much time on this. I'm really just making a larger version of my tiny sketch. And now we paint. I realized pretty quickly that I'd made a bit of an error in adding so much water to the paint. The green turned out kind of splotchy and streaky right from the get-go. So lesson learned, don't treat gouaches like watercolors. They don't like water quite as much. I figured I'd fix this later, let it dry, and paint over it with a little bit thicker paint. Just add some more gouache to the mix, and it should be fine. But lesson learned. See, the tip of the leaf here is giving me trouble. It's still looking really streaky and uneven, and I'm just pushing the paint around, getting a little bit frustrated. So I moved on to the yellow petals, doing a sort of darker shade first to add some shade, and then going over it with the bright yellow. This paint dries pretty quick, so it wasn't long before I could go over this sort of patchy green with another layer, but it's still not quite that solid, vibrant kind of paint by numbers look that I was looking for. But for a first try, it's okay. I'm fine with it. You gotta trust the process. Adding these veins on the leaf made a really big difference, and using the reference picture, I could see that they sort of have this cloud-like contour, which makes the leaf look kind of wrinkly, and I think that's really distinctive for the dandelion, and it helped a lot. It sort of distracted from the patchiness of the paint underneath. Now in a fresh palette, I have mixed some white into that bright yellow so I can make some highlights and just give the picture a little bit more depth. And now using some pure white on the tiny brush, I'm emphasizing those highlights even further and making them really stand out. And now it's time to do that blue background. I'm not sure why I didn't do this to begin with, like the book says, basically, and paint over with the other colors afterwards once it had dried. But I guess I was a little nervous, so I tried to do this afterwards, and I experienced the exact same problem that I had with the green shade. There was way too much water in this blue, and it was in such large areas that it was hard to get it even on the first pass, which meant that I had to go in over and over and keep sort of wetting the palette, and it was kind of a mess, to be honest. In the end, I think it worked out. I managed to even it out, and like I said, this is my first shot at this. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not upset. I'm just a perfectionist, that's all. Then I went in with that tiny detail brush again and pure white to get that fluffy dandelion going here. Just a couple of the little seeds are showing, and then I just wanted sort of to have that really airy, light and translucent quality by just doing like some fluff around the edges. And then I took some diluted white and sort of brushed in towards the center to give that sort of foggy look, which turned out okay. It sort of dragged some of the yellow with it, but I'm okay with it. Once it dried, it looked a lot better. At this point, I decided that I should stop futzing with it because I was just pushing the paint around, and at some point you just have to sort of be happy with what you've done. This was my first try at something like this, and it's not quite what I envisioned, but there will be a next time, and I've learned plenty. I am not going to use so much water. I will do the background first, and just to try to have patience. This is a really cool medium, and I'm excited to try it again. Well, that's it for this time. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I hope I could inspire you and make you want to try something new. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to this channel if this is the kind of content you enjoy. And I will see you next time. Bye!